What's going on, y'all? This is your girl Shauna Speaks, and this is the Male and Female Perspective Podcast. And I got a great show for y'all today. And as always, I got my boy Comply in the building.
What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? What's up, Shauna?
What's up, Comply?
How you doing?
Happy Wednesday. No, Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Right? You
Tuesday.
trying
See,
to
I'm all
go
mixed
too
up.
fast, too far?
But you know how we doing this, y'all. Let's go.
Let's get it.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is your girl Shauna Speaks to Inspire, and this is the Male and Female Perspective Podcast. And I am your host, Shauna Speaks, and I'm with my boy, Just Comply.
Just comply. What's good with you? What's good with you? How you doing?
What's up, Comply?
I gotta apologize to you for my late arrival. Because you know, you know,
I was about to leave him, y'all. He was late. I was about to do a whole podcast by myself called When Your Co-Host is a No-Show.
The shade. The shade. Like,
I was texting about 5 times. He didn't answer. I was like, oh, this is what we doing today?
Yo, it completely slipped my mind. I don't know how it slipped my mind because I've been out here in these TikTok streets and stuff, promoting, and then
forget.
Right, forget completely.
How we gonna promote it? We ain't got no time. We ain't got no video. What we promoting?
Whoops.
How you been though?
I've been good. Everything's been good. Yeah, I appreciate that. I took your advice. I went on. I was on TikTok the other day. I hosted a live about men's mental health. It's June, so men mental health. Yeah, I hit you with the invite, but I know you be working. Yeah, I know you be working third shift and everything. So
my apologies, partner. My apologies.
Nah, it's all good. I knew. Look, I understand. You know what I mean. But I wasn't going to host that live and not give you the invite. Though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, how did it go?
You know how we were. Hey, it was really good. It was really good. It was a good turnout. Yeah, I liked it. I was appreciative.
So, do you think the men were? And that's not what we talk about. We just having a conversation. Y'all just listen.
Yeah, we just having a conversation right now.
I ain't see him all week.
Right.
So did you think that that you get some good feedback from it?
I did. And you know what? Not just from the men though, which was a good thing for me because like even the women that was coming in and that was speaking on the actual topic, they were actually giving in good feedback, good input as well. So I was like, what?
That's good.
I can appreciate this, because
on TikTok, YouTube, every time we talk about a woman, the woman that we talking about is never in the comments.
Yeah.
It's never there. It's never them. It's never toxic, never narcissistic, never non-supportive. Oh, that ain't me.
Right, ever. Right,
ever.
She'll never show her head.
Not one time. Okay, y'all. So our real topic today is you can tell them comply. Because I'm taking away the other one.
Right. It's going to be, so the topic is going to be, I was watching on YouTube, there's a Pop That Balloon episodes. And it's basically a show where, they're, trying to find their, significant other or someone that they're interested in. And they the women ask question of men ask question of women, and based on what they their answer is, if they feel like they don't qualify, whatever, they just pop the balloon. So this particular episode though was episode 6 that we're going to be talking about, because I found it very interesting, to say the least, in regards to how some of my men, how they respond to this to these young ladies that
Mm-hmm.
was interested in, like, the first one. The young lady's name was Corey, and
Corey.
like, and when I say it was like interesting, to a certain extent, and I was like, well, like, do
And
we
she
have
bad.
such lofty thoughts in regards to what we expect from another person,
Right.
that it becomes unrealistic and unattainable?
So I watched
Or
it. Okay, I'm sorry.
or is it that, you know what, because I'm fearful that you won't see me suitable
Mm-hmm.
or fitting, and I want to be the one to be able to reject you before you reject me. So
Mm.
let's get into this.
Or, so I
Hmm.
watched it and I watched the
Hmm.
whole thing, and it's like I think it's three different girls that come up in the segment, but the one
Hmm.
that stood out the most is Corey.
Hmm.
Now, Corey bad. I
Hmm.
mean bad bad. She's
Hmm.
intelligent. Um, she got a bad body,
Hmm.
and she works out, and she's a fitness instructor, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever the case may
Hmm.
be. I took some notes and stuff. So again, I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, she bad. Like, all the guys is not gonna, pop. And I ain't gonna lie, some of the guys up there, I can't judge them because I didn't know exactly what they did or didn't do, because they didn't really say that. But for
Right.
their after the fact and looking at
Hmm.
them in their appearance, I'm gonna say that I mean, they popped it as soon as she walked.
This the
As
moment
soon
she
as
walked.
she walked on the
Hmm.
scene. I
Yeah.
mean, she talked very intelligent. She was nice, calm, man, and they just pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, I thought it was all about the energy or not attractive. She's very attractive, and then the reasons that they gave, which I don't want to give it all away right now. The reasons that they gave. I'm gonna say one of the reasons was that they ain't like her shoes. And I digress. Go ahead.
I look. I
What
was
in the
shocked.
Cinderella is going on?
I was shocked because I'm sitting here like, really, bro?
What?
Like, really?
Her
Uh,
shoes. Cause he's fashion forward.
Way too fashion forward, if you ask me.
That, and he was backwards because he didn't look that fashion forward to me. But I'm just saying.
So then that raises the other question, like,
Hmm.
do we have certain expectations of other people that we can't fulfill ourselves sometimes?
Well, I think so. I had this conversation in my girls group yesterday.
Okay.
So, if y'all just tuning in, if you're tuning in, hit the subscribe button and follow us for great content, okay?
Please
And
do.
if you're
Please do.
listening on the TikTok streets, follow both our pages. Thank you, bye. So
Hmm.
anyway, had to plug that real quick. So I was saying to said that self sabotage is real,
It is.
and I always tell people, when you're not in that place in your life that you are absolutely happy with who you need to date and want to date, sit your butt down and heal fully, and then be the person that you want to attract. Because if you attracted no good men and you attracted no good women, then your attraction is pulling that, because you're not where you need to be. Not
Yeah.
necessarily in that say you're no good, but you're getting off no good energy.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
are what you attract. That is physics, that is manifestation. It's a
Hmm.
fact. You are what you attract.
Yeah.
So if you are getting no good women and you keep getting these men that are no good, and then then what happens is you okay with that, but then when somebody comes along that you can't even believe you actually pulled, because maybe you coming out of that because you're doing some work, you self-sabotage and push the person away.
Yeah, and you see it all the time,
All the
because
time. All the time.
you a lot of people react based on what they've been through versus
What
where
they've
they
been through.
are.
Yep.
Yeah, you react on what you've been through. So, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, or whatever, but that's not even who you're attracting now. You know what I
Nope.
mean? That energy that you used to attract, you're not attracting now, but you're still in your mind, you're thinking about what that other person did, or what you've been through in that situation that and so now, instead of you
Mm.
recognizing the room that you're in, you're still locked. Your mind is still locked into the situation that you already come out
Wow, that was good. Did y'all hit my part? Man, he be the nuggets. Did you hear
of.
what he just said? He said the room that you in. There's a room that you come out. Say that. You remember what you just said? Can you say that
Yeah,
again?
like you
That's
still
crazy.
like
That was
there's
good.
a
Y'all
lot
better
of
listen.
they don't respond well to the room that you're in. You're no longer in that. You've come out of that room. You ain't
Right.
in there no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
But your mind is still there. So instead of you responding to where you currently are,
Mm.
you're still back there,
Still back
and
there.
you'll respond as if you're still back there.
If you're still back
So
there.
then now you're ruining good relationships. Now you're not seeing the value of where you are.
Yep. And that was another thing that I saw today on the TikTok of the groups I'll be listening to, where
Hmm.
it was Women's Tuesday when women got to answer honest questions,
Hmm.
and it was like, how do people determine your worth? So some people say you could know your worth, but you don't determine your worth, and I kind of disagree with that,
Hmm.
because this is the reason why a lot of women are not getting what they deserve, is because they're allowing men to determine what they're
Determine
worth
what their worth is.
versus knowing what you're worth. So because you could
Hmm.
determine and say, well, Shauna, you ain't but $100. But if I know I'm doing the work, and I know I put a value, just like our businesses, we put a value on what our products and services is worth.
Yeah.
And if we, and now this is to this. Here's a nugget. I want you to catch it. We determine what is the value of our products, our services. You are a product. You are a brand, right?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
got to look at it like that for this analogy. When
Hmm.
somebody goes, "Oh, I'm not paying $100 for that," or "I'm not paying $50 for that," or "I'm not paying $1,000 for that," if you give a bargain, which is given in, if you give a deal, then you just diminish your price.
Yeah.
So no matter what man or woman comes in your life to tell you that you're not worth whatever it is that you're trying to give them, or they don't want to, I don't want to use the word pay because it sounds, but like
Hmm.
to your time or whatever the case may be, don't diminish. You know your price. Stand on your price. Stand on your worth.
Hmm.
That's
Stand on
you
it.
are a brand. If
Hmm.
you walk around here saying you a brand, there's certain things you won't do, certain things you won't talk about, people you won't be around, and just like Kapla said about the room, that room you come out of, you're gonna leave certain people behind that's not allowed to go to the next room.
Hmm.
And I
Exactly.
land right there.
And I agree 1,000% because the the more the more you discount, the more
Mm,
you become a discount, right?
mm. Ooh,
But
we giving
then,
nuggets today.
but
Ooh, y'all better get
if
notes.
you,
Notebook.
but to the right person, you're invaluable. So
Yeah.
yeah, you
No
can make
value.
yourself you can make yourself a discount, and you can
Mm-hmm.
continue to keep doing that. But to the right
Mm-hmm.
person, when you're in the right surroundings, whatever, you're invaluable.
You're
There's
not
no
valuable.
price that
That's right.
they wouldn't pay in order to have you. So
Yeah, I agree.
always know that. Always know that.
Remember that commercial when it says pen $1, eraser 10 cent, writing your best novel priceless. Remember?
Priceless, right?
Right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly how you
yeah.
have to show up.
Hmm.
Trauma $1,000.
Hmm.
Go through $2,000. Healed and whole priceless.
Priceless. Yeah,
That's how you
yeah,
have to. That's how you have to show up. And I think a lot of women and men, and I only speak for the women because I'm the perspective of the woman's side, that we really don't believe that we deserve something great. That was one
yeah,
of the questions that I had asked in my women's group, and I'll throw it to y'all. Y'all can answer to yourself. Do you absolutely believe that everything that is supposed to? Do you believe that you deserve everything good to happen to you? That's exactly the question.
right.
And then there was other questions, and it was amazing that I wanted to get yeah, but a lot of it was like, well, I think, or I'm not sure, or blah blah blah. It wasn't a definitive yes.
Right,
And to
right.
me, as a life coach, that's a problem. But we're
Hmm.
working on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but that was one of the questions, and that's a question for everybody. Because if you
Yeah.
don't believe it, then you pick up what they say, the Pookie and the Ray Rays. That's what they call them, something like that.
Yeah, the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Yeah.
And I think a lot of Pookie and Ray Rays was in that on that
Oh
balloon,
yeah.
pop the balloon.
Oh,
They
definitely.
wasn't her caliber.
But see,
So they
when
did
you
a service.
So when you don't know, and I think that there was a few of them that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think that they were capping. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I
Big
really think
cap.
that they were capping,
Yeah.
um, because like I can understand for the first. I think one of the first people that popped his balloon was because she said um, she didn't want anybody that was 37 or above. So there was a couple of dudes that popped their balloon because you
Or
know
the age. I think was that. I
because
think
of
that
the
was the first
age.
girl.
Yeah, the first
The
girl,
first
the
girl.
first
Yeah.
one. Right, right,
Mm-hmm.
right. So yeah, she was like 37, and then, and just thinking logically, if you say, well, kids is a problem to you, well then of course, well, I'm gonna pop the balloon because if I got multiple
Kids.
kids, then
Then
ain't no
yeah.
point in me we talking about this. You
And
know what I
that's
mean?
and that was within
And
right. Yeah.
yeah, and that was
Right.
within reason.
Yeah.
It was the second one. It was the second young lady
Yeah.
that
That's the one
really
that
had
y'all.
me looking at my dudes like, really, we out here like this?
Yes, they really
You know
was
what I
out there
mean?
like
Like the
that.
dude said, he said, um, she looks good, but she was too strong
She looks strong.
for him.
That's what he said.
And I'm sitting here
And
like,
you could tell her body was natural. She ain't had no alterations.
yo,
Like she was like
like she
that
didn't
was
look like
work.
she was bodybuilding nothing,
No,
but she looked like she was toned, like
that
she
she was toned.
like she was in the gym. And I'm
Yeah,
sitting here
yeah, like a
looking at
fitness
my
instructor's supposed to look like. Yeah. So yeah, I absolutely. They said that she looked strong. Someone they didn't like her shoes. If
didn't
you
like her shoes.
didn't like her
He
shoes,
like his woman with a tennis bracelet on.
she didn't have no jewelry.
When that man
But
said a tennis bracelet, I was like, "Yo, this is." I
like he
forgive
was
my
a
French for
fashion
just a second.
consultant.
Is this serious? Like that's where
Yeah, he was serious.
like
He
my
was
head went
serious.
there.
What?
Like,
The
is
way
this
he
you
was serious.
serious?
That dude was serious. Okay, he was like, oh, he's like, yeah, I like a woman to have a little piece of jewelry. Cause you see me, I got a watch on. That watch was so little.
And it would look.
What it was love? What was it?
It
I had to
didn't even
look in
have
the
the.
screen
It
like
didn't even. It didn't have the. It didn't have the TTLE. It was
nothing.
love.
It was love. Like what? It's like, sir, what kind of timepiece is that?
What we doing?
He said, cause
What
you
we
see my
doing?
watch. I was like, we can't really. Not really.
I, I was like, yo, like, I mean, if you want a woman that you want a woman that wear jewelry or whatever, say that, I mean, you can buy it. You know what I mean? If that's your woman, if you
Right.
make her your woman,
That
you can
right.
buy
Come
her
on.
that jewelry. Like,
And then maybe today she didn't wear jewelry. So you gonna
right,
go
for
by the
that
TV. You're
particular,
gonna go by the show and not take out on a real date to see what she
to see
really
what she really like.
right. And then there was another one that was saying so basically I think it was like 9 guys, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
I tried my best to write, but they all wound up popping a balloon.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure out. They all popped a balloon, but the reason that they gave, you could tell that they all were intimidated by her. Because
Yeah, I think she was
the
intimidating.
first young girl that came out, she was pretty, and they had said that they didn't like her knee. That
Yeah,
something's wrong with
yeah.
her knee. I said, well, I know they gonna like my knee because I had surgery, so don't look
I
at my knees.
mean,
I don't got no Megan knees no more. But I
but
was
for
like,
real,
come
that's
on,
what we
like,
looking at.
and
Knee.
she fell. She said she fell a couple of
Yeah,
days
she
ago.
fell. Yeah.
She fell. He don't like her knee. So I'm here to believe, and Kapla can tell me if I'm wrong, that and when you watch it, and it's like he said, we'll leave the information down below, like what season is a link. That they all hit the balloon because they was intimidated and they knew that they weren't her caliber. They weren't her caliber. They were not able to pay her worth, if I should say.
Right.
They wasn't gonna be able to pay her worth. And when she started giving her accolades off, it was like pop pop pop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's how I feel like it was bullcrap. Like everything they said, you gonna watch it. It was one of the dumbest episodes I've seen.
Yeah,
It was dumb.
it was a whole lot of cap to me. I just
Yeah,
think it was
big
a whole
cap.
lot of cap, and it was, you know what? I would rather reject you than you to reject me. You know what I mean? Like that. It was that ego and male pride thing that
Yeah.
came came to the
Absolutely.
forefront for a few of them. Now I can't say
Yeah.
everybody was there because there was a couple of them that tried to stay there to the end, but
But they all
other
wound up
things came.
popping.
Yeah, they
Now,
all
what I
wound up popping,
don't
but
like,
because of the fact that when she was like she didn't want any kids, she
she didn't
didn't
want
want
kids.
anybody with any kids. She didn't want anybody with kids already. She wanted
Tori.
kids.
I mean Corey.
Yeah, Corey.
Okay.
Yeah, she wanted kids,
She
but
wanted
she didn't
kids.
want anybody that already had
Okay.
kids.
Got you.
Right.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So that was why I think it was like three gentlemen at
The had kids.
they had kids and like they had multiple kids. So
And
that's
she
why
was
they wound up
nice.
popping.
Like she wasn't
But
like
yeah.
even when they popped it, she wasn't even like mad or had an attitude. She was like, "Oh, okay,
Hmm.
well, you know." And then even now, this is another thing, and I don't know if it's just women that just want love so bad. Like, if we could get out of liking who likes us
Hmm.
and like somebody actually that you like back.
Right.
Right? I like you because you like me. I like you because you approach me. I like you because you're in my face and you trying to flirt. So let me like you back.
Right.
That don't work because it calls desperation.
Yeah.
When she got rejected by most
Hmm.
of them, one of the guys, when the guy was explaining to her why he didn't like her or why he popped the balloon, she kind of like reasoned with him. Well, you know, I could this and I could that, and I
Hmm.
was like, come on, Corey, no, we're not doing that. Like
Right.
he
Stand
rejected
strong.
you.
Like
Like
he already made his decision.
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Judge told her. She said, don't let a man tell you more than once that he don't want you.
Yeah.
So
I
if you
agree
pop
with
the
that
balloon
too.
on me and this is the object of the game and you popped on me, I'm not and you tell me why, I respect what you said. I'm not reason I don't even know you.
Yeah. Ain't no spin the block.
It's no
Yeah. Ain't
spin
no
the
spin the
how
block.
we gonna spin
Yeah.
the block? Ain't no blowing
Yeah.
back the balloon. And then what I didn't like is that all the guys popped the balloon, but then the guy that was about the jury, he said, "Can I get my balloon back?"
Right. Don't
And then and then and
right.
then she said okay, and she was with that, and then they wound up getting to know each other. I think
Hmm.
the guy from Africa. And
Yeah.
I hated that part. Again, if you
Yeah.
popped on me prematurely,
Right.
I don't know you. So you and then the reason you gave me, so I could tell that even though she maybe seemed secure, there was some insecurities there or a little bit of
Hmm.
desperation that I noticed that I didn't like about the overall picture. Because if
Right.
I don't know you, I'm not bidding for you.
Right.
I'm showing you. And if what you see right now is not enough for you to take that second step, then I'm good. So the show
And
has it, yeah,
maybe
sorry.
some of them was a little bit afraid of competition. You get what I'm saying?
With
Like
whom?
within each other, with the other prospects.
That
You
was
get what I mean?
on that
That
panel.
was on that. Yeah, that was on the panel. You know what I mean? Because they're
I only saw like two that I thought would be nice for her. To be honest,
right.
I don't know where they got these guys from. They
I,
not they're picking them, but they're
mhm.
not doing like what other talk shows do, where they pick them and then they have them. They know they try to line them up with what people
Right.
about the person. They just picking people and
Right.
putting them in front of and lining the women and the men up or whatever the case may be. So
Yeah,
I,
because
I, I don't know.
I would go back to old girl Corey for
Mm-hmm.
just a second. The only thing that she did that I didn't like
Mm-hmm.
was when she was like, well, you know, um, she didn't want she didn't want a man that didn't have kids.
Okay.
Because and the reason why my thought process went there is it's okay. I know you want your own experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
As far as to you being the mother of a child and
Yeah.
things of that nature, whatever. I get that 100%. But that just because something happened with this particular person,
Mm-hmm.
it does that shouldn't just disqualify him immediately because her thought process was is that I don't do the baby mama drama and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily that's not every man's story. Like
No.
that's
Welcome
quite
to
a
our world,
few.
Apply, because
You know
women
what I
are getting
mean?
disqualified every day for having kids. Okay.
What you
Rest in
talking?
peace. Rest in pieces to Kevin Samuel, but he was the one that started it. If you
Yeah,
got one
yeah,
kid, you are deemed determined unworthy, and that's what's
right.
going on with this red pill community and content that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean to
Right,
cut you off, but welcome to our world because this is what we hear every day. You got more than one kid.
right.
And even if you got any kids, because now at a certain age, everybody should have a kid by now.
Right.
So I,
Right.
I I totally agree, but this is what we was women been going through for a long time,
And
being
see, the
disqualified for
inverse
just being a
is,
mother.
yeah, and the inverse is that, certain people get looked at differently if you don't have kids. Like, what's wrong with you
That
that you
part. What
can't
happened to
have kids?
you?
You
Right.
right?
And don't even know the person's story. And
Not
and
at
and
all.
and you got to be very careful for speaking that. And I could talk personally from that because at a certain age, I was deemed the same situation. And I can
Right.
say it, right? Because it helps other
Mhm.
people.
Right.
And you got to be careful when you tell somebody a story. Because Carrie, when you telling the person you're dealing with that, it takes a lot because as a woman, you feel like you are and like you're not really a woman because you can't bring life again to the world. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But
Right. Right.
saying what's wrong with you, it's a lot that's wrong. But I'm not gonna sit up here and now be vulnerable because now you made it a problem.
Right.
Well, there's women that naturally don't want to have kids. And there's men that don't want to have
Right.
kids, but you just got to find your person. So I say all to say for those that like to say that, be careful because there are mothers out here or women that are barren. Look up the word if you don't know what it means. That are
Mhm.
unable to have kids. That's why surrogacy and artificial insemination is important, and
Right.
adoption and that's why a lot of men and women that may not have kids or can't have kids anymore are fine with being in a person with multiple kids because it's still a way of being a parent or having that connection with a child.
Right.
There's a lot of kids in the system right now, foster kid system, that needs good homes. So,
Hmm.
and then half the time y'all having these kids, y'all ain't parents anyway. That's another
That
story.
part.
So don't let me get triggered.
Let's not get triggered, cause boy, I
I'll
can go.
land
Ooh, I
before
can
I
ride down
crash.
it. Ooh, boy, I
Cause
can ride down that road with you. You know
we'll
what I'm
we'll
saying?
we'll we'll will, but we won't do it on this one because y'all trigger
Right.
me. All
Right.
that y'all gotta stop that. People do have, and there are men that have low sperm count. It's a lot of things that go on with human people. How dare y'all say something is wrong with somebody for that?
Right. Right.
Come
Very
on.
true.
And then this is the part. If I don't have no kids, something's wrong with me. If I
Hmm.
have more than one or any kids, something is wrong with me. Societal pressure is special.
Hmm.
I
It's
gotta cut that
crazy.
out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit.
It's great. It's crazy. I agree 1000% with you. Like, at the end of the day, like, and I tell people all the time, if you spend your time acquiescing to societal norms, you'll never truly find yourself.
Never. Bad enough you
Because
can't find yourself with just in your
societal
family.
norms,
Yeah.
right, societal norms is always going to be ebb and flow. It's going to always do this, so it's never going to be
Wherever the wind
straight.
is blowing. Yeah. Wherever it's
Yeah,
gonna carry. You right.
it's never going to be straight. So you'll think today this might be popular, and then tomorrow that same thing that was
Mm-hmm.
popular ain't going to be popular no more. And
Right.
so now you a completely different other person because now you're trying to follow that ebb to something completely totally opposite.
That's right.
Like, be yourself.
Be
Be
yourself.
unapologetically yourself.
You.
And someone out there is going to find value in you no matter where you are. You know what I
Right.
mean? Someone out there
Exactly.
is going to find your value. Like, you stay where you're supposed to be.
Stay
If you
true.
feel like, if you feel like, I am the Mona Lisa in
Mona
this
Lisa,
museum,
Mona
s-
Lisa, something made you.
just stand on. I'm the Mona
I'm the
Lisa.
Mona Lisa.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
hold up.
And someone that wants the
No.
Mona Lisa, come get her.
Oh no.
Someone that wants the Mona Lisa, come get her.
No.
Now, but you have to
No.
be.
No.
Let's be
Comply. Not
honest,
Mona
though.
Lisa.
Let's be
You got too
honest,
many
though.
Mona Lisas running around here.
That there it is, right there. Let's
Mm.
be honest about this thing,
I'm
because
sorry.
not everybody can be the Mona Lisa. Not everybody can be the Mona Lisa. Like,
I don't want a Mona
like,
Lisa.
not look.
I don't want a Mona.
Some of us
After I
got to
found out the
be.
history, I don't want a Mona Lisa.
Some of us got to
Mm-mm.
be a
No,
little bit
no.
more humble and honest with
Mm-mm.
ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Mm-mm.
you
No,
want to be
throwing
the
away
Mona
the
Lisa,
key. No.
but
Mm-mm.
yeah.
No. Mm-mm. No, no.
Yeah, we
Mm-mm.
ain't gonna get into the history behind that, but
Mm-mm.
yeah.
We is not.
He's just using that as an analogy. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
right.
Like that's an
Exactly.
expensive, the one of the more expensive paintings that's in
Oh
the
my gosh.
that's in the art gallery. You know, that people pay very
Yeah.
a large amount of money for.
No, 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 no. Mm-mm. That was funny.
But
That took me out. But yeah, we definitely have to know our worth. And
yeah,
popping the balloon, I mean, I get it. That's that generation. I ain't part of that, and I understand it's really trending on YouTube and everything. Kudos to the creators of it or whatever.
hmm
It's very interesting to watch
yeah,
because it
it
also
is
showed you how shallow people can be too.
that part. And that's the
They
question: is
show
like,
you
do
how
we
shallow
become
somebody
too
could be.
shallow? Like,
Do we?
do we become too shallow? Like, are we being too objective,
Mm,
not substantive?
mm.
Because like
That's
old
a good
boy said,
question.
her knee, and I was
Her
like,
knee,
what?
her knee, and her shoes.
Her
Don't forget
shoes.
the shoes. Don't forget that she ain't had no jewelry on.
She ain't had no jewelry.
So,
She a little bit too. She a little bit too. She a little bit too strong. Huh?
but then
Like
if she came out there with rolls and didn't have on the a good body con on, holding everything in, then that it's like we can't win.
you can't win.
And
You
that
can't win.
show, that particular topic in that particular episode is the reason why. Oh, excuse me, that we decided to do it because it. I mean, I'm sure there's more dumb ones out there, but that one didn't make no sense to me.
Yeah, it did.
Corey, that episode with Corey did not make no sense. And if you're listening, girl, you are beautiful, and you are
Right.
fine, and your body is bad, and keep doing what you're doing. Because if
Yeah.
we keep running around here trying to please society, matter of fact, who is society? Because
That part.
the last time I
Don't we
looked, the
make the
people that
society?
look, the people that walking around here making societal decisions ain't got nothing. I ain't adding nothing to society. I'm trying to build society up. I don't even know who society is. This is the biggest gang in the world.
Right.
Do you know where they live? Like, do they got an address? What's their email?
Right.
I need to look at society in the face and tell them to shut the hell up.
So we go ahead and
I
have
don't
one
even
of
know
those
who they are.
S's and put the S in the sky or whatever.
SOS, like society. Who are you? Where
Right.
you live? Like, are you 24 hours? Where you work at? Where's your building? Because y'all running havoc.
Yeah. For real.
I'm sorry, but that society. I don't like society. I don't like y'all.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's how you
But
turn
yeah,
around
so
society. Society.
I mean,
That's
uh,
society.
the purpose of this particular podcast is like any, to leave you guys with, something
It's a little nugget.
positive to
Yeah.
look at, something to think about, something to chew on. And
Yeah.
this particular one, it's like, are we being too harsh to each other
To each
when,
other.
and then on the flip side of that is our expectations unrealistic? Like, are we setting certain bars that's a little bit too high? And depending on who you are, your bar
Mm-hmm.
might not be. You might not
Right.
feel like that bar is high at all. It's
Right.
all on the individual perspective. I feel like certain bars was like really her knee.
The male and
But
female perspective, to be exact.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's a male and a female. Like I was looking at my mail, like, bruh,
Right.
like
And it's so hard. It's hard. It's hard out here being a woman. It really is.
I seen, I
It's
seen it with
hard.
my own eyes. At
It's
that,
really hard.
you
We don't know
can't
how to
even lie
act. We
about
don't
it.
know what we're supposed to do. We don't know
Yeah.
how we talk too loud. We too strong. We too weak. Our knees are bad. We put on too much makeup, too different hair. But then the guy you like is looking at the girl with all the hair and the makeup and the body and the BBL. But then that's not what he want. But that's who you see him gawking at.
hmm
And then you try to emulate that. You can't, because then he's
hmm
like, oh no, that's not what I want. So we don't know. And then you got the women over here. I want to be taken care of. I want this. I want that. I need a high value man. Ain't no high value man. I'm sitting around on no TikTok or YouTube.
Okay,
They
so
not.
I'm gonna give you one. Okay,
Go ahead,
this
please.
this one is a free one, and I know that there are
Help
quite
me
a
out.
few men that will agree 1,000% with what I'm about to say.
Say it.
Just because I gawk at it,
Here we go.
and just because I like it,
This is where we're gonna have an
the
argument. I feel it.
only substance that is good for is when them lights go out.
But
It
how
ain't
are
got
we
no other
supposed
sub.
to know
It ain't
that?
got no other substance. It ain't
But
got
we
no other
don't know
substance.
that though.
But
Okay.
see this. But see
Get
what
finished.
what happens is
Oh
is
no.
that is that you misunderstand the male and the male of what he actually looks at or what attracts him versus what keeps him. Okay,
I understand that.
there's a huge difference between what will attract me versus what will keep me. What will
Mm-hmm.
attract me is that body banging. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's going to immediately attract me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what's going to keep me. So yeah, just because I hit a like, just because I heart, just because I comment or whatever else like that,
I
that's
don't
not
know.
that's not what's going to keep because so many
I gotta
times.
push back.
Listen,
Go
no,
ahead.
hold on for
No,
just a
no, I'm
second
gonna
because I'm,
finish.
I'm I'm gonna give you a prime example.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a prime example. Our girl from the block, Jenny from the block.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say almost her entire life.
Mm-hmm.
She's been one of those types that garner a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? But she can't seem to keep a man
Okay.
because she has what it takes to attract us.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, she can't seem to keep us. And it's been more than one instance that
Yeah,
she
it's a lot
has
of them.
not been able to. And that's there's a difference. There's the attraction and there's the substance. They're two separate things.
I get it. There's no argument. I don't got no pushback. What I push it back on is I hear what you're saying, and I heard it. I heard it from my brothers. I heard it from my boys. I hear it from you. As a woman,
Hmm.
we don't know that, right?
Hmm.
We only go by what we see y'all do.
Hmm.
And because there is a disconnect amongst us with communication,
Hmm.
we only could go by what we see y'all do. So we see y'all liking these particular pictures, or we see you turning around, or you always hear the conversations that the men say in the barbershop, whatever, because women go to barbershops with their sons.
Hmm.
We don't step outside, we be in there. I
Right.
did. And we see what you like, and we see the cat call, summer dresses going down. And if I see you looking at someone that doesn't look like me,
Hmm.
but you're in my face, but I saw what you turned your head on, I
Hmm.
don't get the substance part, because we know first and foremost attraction, physical attraction is the eye. That's what gets you.
Hmm.
Like you said,
Right.
attracts you, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
The substance come later on. But
Right.
for me as a
Definitely.
woman trying to understand you from afar, I'm only gonna go by what I see that you like. So now
But
I
that's the
don't
same way on the flip side of that as well, because
you
as
nah
as the
really.
man, no, as the man, I can tell you, I don't look nothing like Denzel Washington. I don't look a damn thing like Idris
But
Elba. I
no,
don't
you're
look
right.
anything like
I'm
Dwayne the
not talking
Rock
about
Johnson or
stars.
some. No, I'm talking about just okay
Because
because
the stars, I mean,
it,
everybody got fetish. Half the stars that we see is
right,
because they saw. I'm talking about every day. Now
but
TikTok
even
people are stars. That's what I'm saying.
right,
We don't see. We don't know.
but even so, like there are certain things that attract certain women. That's going okay, like
So I understand what you're saying about about the substance and the sorry, we
attraction.
got a little technical difficulty. I understand you talking about the substance versus, but I'm just saying, as like I'm telling you as a woman, we don't know that until we hear it now. But
Right.
when we hear one person say it, but we got 10,000 men doing something different. I do believe that's why the BBLs and all these augmentation has been invented, because women go, I'm doing it for me, but in reality, yes, so feel better about yourself, but also to attract that man that you think is looking at it. And I do agree
Mhm.
that once you walk around here looking like a sex symbol, it does give off the wrong um energy to the man that you want to attract and keep, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
because I think that, one of the things that I always question is like, do you really want the attention that you are seeking? Like if you go
Right.
out there, you get a BBL that is, BBL or whatever the case may be, or body augmentation, because you see that, that I or other men are attracted,
Yeah.
or are paying attention to, the type of females that have that.
Yeah.
Then the question is that, can you deal with the attention that that particular person normally gets? Because the reason, like they get that type of attention on a regular basis.
Right. You're back in the air. I don't know
You
what happened.
know,
Do you touch something?
so
Okay.
but that is always the the question for me is like, do you really could you really handle that type of attention? It's the equivalent, like on the flip side, where some women that are always getting that type of attention is like, I
Mm.
wish that, I wish people would just not, just leave me alone,
Mm.
and then I asked the question of,
Be
well,
careful
could
what
you
you ask for.
handle being ignored?
That's
Could
what I'm
you
saying. Be careful
handle
what you ask for. Yeah.
Yeah, could you handle if you walked into a room and no one turned their head? Could you
Mm-mm.
handle that?
No, because there's women that go outside right now and we get our hair done to the nines and dress all the way up. And
Hmm.
I've said, I'll be like, I know I look good. And then you go
Hmm.
outside, you don't get not one compliment.
And you
You
feel a
are
certain
looking,
type of way
and you
about
will
that.
feel some type of way if you don't know how you
Yeah.
feel about yourself. Because sometimes you like, you know what? Because there's times where my friends have come through with things on, and I hated it on them. But in their
Hmm.
eyes and looking in the mirror, they thought they looked good.
Right.
And there's times I did my hair and this, and they go, I don't like that, and I go, well, I like it. But then again, when we say we're doing it for ourselves, that's when that disconnects come, because now I'm doing it for myself, but what I think I look like, the person that I may want to attract don't like it.
May
So
not.
in
Yeah.
essence, you have to be also thinking about the person or the potential partner that you may attract. And
Yeah.
I think it's selfish for us to just say, "Oh, I'm doing it for myself." But again, society makes us feel
Hmm.
like if we do say that we're doing it for the opposite of sex, like to admit it, then it's like, "Oh, well, then that
Like
yes,
it's a
it's
bad
secure.
thing.
It's a bad thing." No, it's
Yeah.
not,
Like,
because I
but
don't want to be alone the rest of my life.
all throughout the animal kingdom, there are so many other examples of
Right.
where, what, this animal is doing this, that, and the third, or whatever, to attract some of the other species.
Is
The
peacocking, I think, is like the
Yeah, the
peacock,
peacock is
and the peacock
that's the
with the
male.
is the male. Thank you.
That's the
With
male.
the beautiful feathers. The woman is plain gray.
Hmm.
It's the man with all of that,
With
because
all the
he's the one
plumage.
that got to shimmy to say, "Hey, look at me." So then a
Look
lot
at
of
me.
people take that, so that tells, like you just saying, that they call it peacock, where you dress up to show, because who don't get dressed for people to not look at you, to not say you smell good or you look good, or not to get that eye from your man or potential mate look at you like, I'm about to tear you up when I get you home.
That part right
Who
there.
don't want that?
That
Who don't
part.
want your man pulling your waist, holding you close, because he don't want no other man inside to think that you by yourself?
Yep.
Because that dress is hitting
Right.
all the curves. And you
Hmm.
could be from across the room and you turn around and it's that men are staring. And they not staring because you look crazy. It's because you look
Hmm.
good. But some of y'all be looking crazy also. So I don't know what you
Right.
get. I don't know.
Right.
So
Right. But you spot on. Like that,
so
to me, like, you got to be careful what you wish for.
yeah, true.
Be careful what you wish for, because I believe wholeheartedly that the power of life and death is in the tongue. So what you speak out, be
Wholeheartedly.
careful, because
You are
you
what you
might not
think.
be able to handle it. Look,
Just like
it
we said
seems
earlier,
bad
you are
now.
what you attract. You are what you think. You are what you believe. I
Hmm.
don't know who said it. But it's in my book. It goes along the lines of, if you believe you can't or you believe you can, both of them is right.
Yeah, yeah,
So whatever you
yeah.
believe that you can do or can't do, you right.
You're right.
Either way, you right.
That-
If you don't
That's your
believe you can lift
truth.
this up, that's your truth. You right. If you think you can do it, you absolutely right. So take that in notion to mean that try to do the things you know you can do and do it. Instead of saying what you
Hmm.
can't do. Don't speak certain things over you. You
Hmm.
know, and I, like we just brought this particular clip up because it didn't make sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll end this on saying this, and then my partner said what he wanted to say for the women perspective side. Ladies, I want you to live your best life. Be true to yourself, like Applied said. Know your worth. Don't discount yourself. Don't discount yourself. Don't give nobody no deals. Your worth, your price, your brand is you. Once you start diminishing your worth, start bringing down your bar, and then some, then look at it. That's why we said unexpected expectations, unrealistic expectations. Sometimes maybe we got to reevaluate that bar every now and then. Sometimes it may go up a little higher. Sometimes we got to bring it down a little lower. But either way, don't negotiate your worth with nobody. And you do that by not you do that by vetting, by seeing the red flags and not trying to change the color of them, not sitting up there negotiating with somebody about your price, your worth, like how Corey did with the guy. You'll see it in the video. Like, just stand on what you believe in, and don't let nobody pop no balloon on you and then come back and spin the block. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't pop
So
out
you're
there. You
right.
pop a
So you're
balloon, you
right.
ain't coming back over here.
So you're right.
You know
So you're right. I mean, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Like
what?
once
You
it's out, it's
not
out.
in that
It's
one.
done. It's done.
Not that one.
You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna let that be the last thing that we say, because I like that. You know what I mean? I like that.
Don't pop the balloon over here trying to spin the block on me. That balloon's
I'm
done.
trying to tell you.
Get your ass out of here.
Right. Right.
Get your butt out of
I don't know
here.
what you thought this was.
I don't know what you thought. What you thought. What you thought. What you thought.
It's always a
It's
pleasure.
always a pleasure to comply. This
Yes,
has
ma'am.
been the Male Female Perspective Podcast. I'm your host, Shauna Speak to Expire, and my host,
Just comply.
Jessica Ply. Have a good night, y'all.
Y'all have a good one.